Who makes the driver lineup call with regards to Red Bull and Visa CashApp RB? That's a big question that's just been going on in my head over the course of the weekend and the handling of Daniel Ricciardo and Singapore. Now, I'm not an expert on Red Bull driver moves at all. In fact, it's probably one of my worst records in terms of calling news. I was adamant that Checo was going to get fired at the halfway point, and I was also adamant that Visa CashApp RB were going to announce Daniel as driving until the end of this season, but announced that Liam Lawson was going to take over from next season, and that Daniel would get this farewell for the rest of the season with regards to obviously the races that are coming up in America and just seeing off his career that way. And it seems from what everybody's telling me that that's wrong as well. So it led me to the question of just who makes the driver moves within the two teams, because there's a lot of confusion over the messages that have been coming from both teams. We know that Helmut Marko has a huge influence on where the drivers end up. It's a fact that we've all come to live with. It's just part of the Red Bull setup. But when you listen to the team principals, you've got Lance Mecky, you've also then got Christian Horner. All of the messages from Singapore seem to be very different messages. They didn't seem to be an aligned, polished media sort of outlook we were getting. It's like, we're going to sit down and review, we're going to give a guard of honour, we're going to do this, we're going to let Daniel face the media in Singapore not knowing what his future is. Yet he looked like he knew what his future was, and it's just not been announced. And then we were going to get an announcement on Thursday according to some outlets, and then we didn't get an announcement on Thursday, and it just all seems a little bit, I don't know, like nobody knows what's going on, like nobody's taking a lead. It kind of prompted me to think, is there a bigger play here, as in they're not aligned with their thinking, they don't actually know their best lineup, and there's all these different factors like Checo and sponsorship, and also, you know, Daniel in his marketing ability, and give him Liam some time in the car before next season, because that's what they're going to do, and then reviewing their options at the end of this season if McLaren beat him in the constructors, which is looking more and more likely. It just kind of feels there's no sort of joined up thinking, so this is what we're going to do. Whereas normally we get quite a smooth, polished outlook to what they're going to do with their drivers. We may not agree with it, we may not like it, but it's normally a very clear, transparent process in terms of, this is what we're going to do, this is what's happening, and kind of get on with it, even though we know it's not popular. Let me know your thoughts on this one, but yeah, it's one I can't call.